Unfortunately, Shannen Doherty passed away a couple days ago, and here's all the warning signs we should have noticed about her. Starting off, we have her illness. Shannen was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015, and she went into remission 2 years later, but shared in 2019 that the cancer had returned as stage 4. Last June, she shared that the cancer metastasized in her brain, and that she had undergone surgery to get a tumor removed from it. Now, by November, it had spread to her bones, but in January 2024, she revealed that a new infusion treatment plan she's been on had yielded positive results. In April this year, Shannen said she'd been giving away and selling items she's accumulated and put in storage as she continued her cancer battle. Speaking on her podcast, Let's Be Clear, she said she's been giving away her possessions in an effort to make things easier for her mother, Rosa, in the event she should pass away amid the health crisis. My priority at the moment is my mom. I know it's going to be very hard on her if I pass away before her, she said. Because it's going to be so hard on her, I want other things to be a lot easier. I don't want her to have a bunch of stuff to deal with. I don't want her to have 4 storage units filled with furniture. She said that she planned on selling off some items to garner funds to travel with her mother. It's just stuff, she said. I don't need this. It doesn't really bring me any great joy, but what does bring me great joy is taking my mom to the places she's always wanted to go to. I get to build different memories. I get to build memories with people that I love. Now we have her friends calling out her relationship. Now, hours after the death of Shannen was announced, her friend Tara Fanani called out the late actress's estranged husband. I'm really sad and upset about my friend Shannen's death because of the divorce she was going through at the time. She had stage 4 breast cancer that had metastasized to numerous parts of her body. Death was inevitable and she knew that, made peace with that. But her pain and suffering in the months preceding it didn't have to be so profound if her husband was just a decent human being. He could have just displayed a little humanity to his dying wife. Shannen lost everything throughout her cancer battle and divorce, according to her friend. Her husband was dragging his feet with income discovery in court in an effort to delay judgment or payment until she died, where it would now be moot. She believed this is what he was doing, and she said as much publicly just about a month ago. Now we have her ex-husband. So in October 2011, the actress had married Kurt after 3 years together. In April 2023, she filed for divorce, claiming that Kurt was unfaithful in their marriage. Now, the news made headlines when she went on her new Let's Be Clear podcast and claimed that she had surgery to remove a brain tumor right after learning Kurt had been carrying on an affair for 2 years and that their 11-year marriage was essentially over. She then accused him of intentionally delaying settlement in hopes that I will not survive the divorce proceedings in court documents filed this past June. Now, she also requested a monthly spousal support payment retroactive to June 1st, 2024. Although Kurt's income is substantially more than mine, he has not made any temporary spousal support payments and has made no contributions to my attorneys or accounting fees and costs since the time of our divorce action was filed, the filing read in part. Now, Shannen also claimed that Kurt was spending thousands of dollars while she had been unable to work, incurring exorbitant medical expenses not covered by insurance to undergo experimental treatments in hopes of prolonging her life. So Shannen was initially diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015 enduring a mastectomy, chemotherapy, and radiation. But in February 2020, she shared she was battling stage 4 breast cancer. In November 2023, the cancer had spread to her bones after having previously spread to her brain. Now, in January 2024, she said she hoped to squeeze out another 3 to 5 years. There's going to be a lot more options that will give us another 5 years. Then in those 5 years, there's a whole other group of options, and eventually there's going to be a cure. Now, she and her team were hopeful that she had more time. Then we have her getting kicked off the show Charmed. Shannen was cast in 2 of Aaron Spelling's hit teen series, Beverly Hills 90210 and Charmed. Now, unfortunately though, she started to be a diva and be difficult and demanding, so she was eventually kicked off both shows. Now, her exit from Charmed was so bad that Aaron is said to have banned her from all future projects, and her diva reputation had seemed to keep her out of anything worth watching ever since. In a long-standing TV feud, Charmed co-stars Shannen and Alyssa Milano decidedly did not get along. I think I cried every single night of season 2, Shannon once told Entertainment Tonight, adding that their competitiveness got the best of them. In an episode of Shannon's podcast, their third co-star, actress Holly Marie Combs, finally revealed what happened before Shannon left the show. We were told by Alyssa it's her or Shannon, and Alyssa has threatened to sue us for hostile workplace environment. Holly then went on to say that Alyssa had footage of what made her feel uncomfortable, and she wouldn't be afraid to use it. Shannon was then let go of the show, while Holly was seemingly coerced to continue despite not wanting to. Now we have being kicked off of Beverly Hills 90210. Producer Aaron Spelling characterized Shannon in a slightly more sympathetic light, telling People magazine she's a very honest person who wears her emotions on her sleeve. If you ask her a direct question, she'll give you a direct answer. But it seems like her co-stars didn't appreciate her honesty. As revealed in Lifetime's The Unauthorized Beverly Hills 90210 story, Shannon's coworkers voted her off the show, and her character moved to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in London, and she never returned. Then producer and writer Larry Mullen told Entertainment Weekly that Shannon didn't ask permission before getting a haircut, so her brand new do wound up destroying the continuity of the season 4 finale. Now allegedly that's what inspired fed up producers to finally kick her off. And this leads us to her being called out by her co-stars. Now according to her former 90210 castmate Jason Priestley, Shannon could be a nightmare. In his 2014 memoir, he claimed her arrogance was beyond the pale during a trip to New York. Now she apparently had issues with the car that had picked her up and took her to the airport, asking a Fox publicist, "Really? A town car? You send a car to take me to the airport, not a limo?" Now according to her book, Deeper Thoughts from a Hollywood Blonde, co-star Jenny Garth got along with Shannon like gasoline in a match. At one point, Jenny was allegedly so fed up with Shannon's bad attitude that she lost her cool and yelled, "Come on, B, we're taking this outside." Now fortunately, other cast members were able to break up the fight before it turned physical. Now we have her waiting to share the news. So like mentioned before, in 2017 she was in remission, but the cancer came back in 2019. Now she didn't announce it until 2020 though, and this was because of the death of her friend and co-star Luke Perry in March 2019, so she kept the news to herself for the fear of being treated differently. People look at you like you're a dead man walking, basically, and that they need to say their goodbyes to you, the star said. Work dries up, she added. I enjoy working, and working gives me another reason to wake up every morning. It's another reason to fight to stay alive. Now Shannon also said participating in the TV reboot of Beverly Hills 90210, which aired on Fox, was the least I could do to honor Perry, but it was also an opportunity to prove that she could continue to work despite her health. One of the reasons I got along with Luke, that I did the 90210 and didn't really tell anybody, was because I thought people can look at that as people with stage 4 can work too, she explained in the interview. And finally, we have her being supportive. Now, after the announcement of her passing, Olivia Munn spoke out about how supportive Shannon was to her. Olivia opened up about how she was uniquely connected to Shannon through their personal battles with breast cancer. I am absolutely heartbroken over the passing of Shannon Doherty, her Instagram post began. When I was first diagnosed with breast cancer, I remember how she bravely let the world into her journey, and I reached out to her, she continued. We became instant friends, we bonded through a shared battle and a desire to help other women, she continued. Now Olivia said Shannon had reached out a few months prior to check in on her in what would be their last text exchange, saying, true to form, Shannon was offering her support even though she was in the final stage of fighting this horrific disease. Cancer is really effing scary, and Shannon faced it with such dignity, strength, and grace. I'm sending my love to her mother, who was her best friend, hero, and champion every step of the way. Olivia wrote to end her post, fly high, my friend. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 Shannon Doherty warning signs we should have noticed. Now, are you a fan of Shannon? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.